In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to apply a multiple inline to text and or objects, and then how to edit that multiple inline on those text or objects. To do that, I'll just create a new page. I'll go to page 2 here, and I'll type in a word. Type in, say, multi like this. I'll make that a bit bigger, and I'll zoom in on it so we can see what we're doing. Now, to apply a multiple outline to text like this is very easy. We just come over to our Vector Effects tool and come down and click on Multi-Outline. And you can see the program automatically applies this multiple outline to this piece of text here. Now, down the bottom we've got some tools. We can hide our effects and bring them back. And this tool here locks our effects. So if we've got multiple effects on the screen, we can lock those effects so we don't accidentally grab them as we're editing things. And this tool here helps us select the actual effect itself. So if I click off the effect here and I click back on it, and you can see it's just regular text. If I click back on this button here, it selects that text and that effect. And in the second row of tools, as always in VinylMaster, we have the tools and features applicable to what we've got selected and what mode we're in. And up here we've got an inset, we've got an offset, a number of outlines, the method and the style that we're using. Now outline and inline work together as the same function, but one goes on the inside and one goes on the outside. So in this particular case, what we'll do is we'll just decrease our offset here so we can see the multiple outlines coming into effect here. And as I decrease these, you can see what's happening. So we've got 2 here, or effectively 3 outlines, and more and more and more as we go. So these tools will significantly influence the look of our effect. And if I increase the inset like that, it starts working from the outside in, as you can see, and I can get all these different types of looks, as you can see. Okay, now one very important method here is this outline method. If I click on this, at the moment they're combined. If I click on lines, you can see that we've got all our lines here. I'll just zoom in to make that very clear, and I'll just select this effect, and I'll increase my lines. I'll decrease my offset, and you can see what's happening here as I decrease the offset, and I've got these outlines here. You can see what's happening here. So the more I add, so these tools work together in the sense that the more offset I have and the more outlines, the less I'm actually going to see. So as you can see, as I increase the offset, less outlines come into view, and the lower we make it, so you can get to the point where you can really fill it up like this and you can get this sort of effect going on. So combining these tools get very different looks of our outline method here. Now the other thing we can do is gradient. And as you can see, what the program does is it takes this outline color, which is at the top here, to our gradient color, which is in the center here like this, and it blends it in between each other. So if I go into wireframe mode, you can see we've still got vectors here. This isn't a bitmap or anything. This is actually a vector paths here, as you can see. And as I decrease this, you can see how this affects it, and I increase this, and you can see these different effects you can create. So I can increase that, decrease this, and we get this sort of effect. Now by changing these colors I get detrimental, well, very significant changes. So if I say make this from yellow through to say red, you can see the effect I've got there, and if I swap that around, red to yellow, you can see this sort of effect going on here. And if I click off this and actually just zoom out a little bit like so, and for example change the actual text color to say red or to yellow or to say blue, and so on and so forth. I've got an infinite number of combinations, of course. I can create any manner of different looks and effects using this inline tool, and you can create quite some amazing different looking things by using a combination of these effects. If I click it back to combined, well, we've got a red outline with a red text, so I'll just do it like that, and as you can see you get this sort of looking effect. Other things we can change are the style, and we can change it to sharp, and as you can see it changes the way this looks. To say mitered, and this gives this mitered effect. To say smooth, it makes it all round, and then we've got the sharp effect, and it makes it sharp. And round, sorry. So you've got round, smooth, sorry I didn't show you smooth. So these are the different effects we can create with the multi-inline tool, and by combining different numbers and different percentages and different offsets, and by clicking on these up and down arrows, you can actually see the effect live on the screen or in your designing area to achieve the sort of effects you want to get. And by combining the different colours, you can have it creating a whole range of different types of effects, from like a wood carved effect to, as I showed you with the gradient effect, where it looks like it's a bitmap, so to speak. If I I've got yellow to yellow, so it's obviously not going to work. So you've got this sort of effect here. So that's how the multi-inline tool works, and that's the end of this lesson.